السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. غنشوف في هذا الفيديو
very hard for true freedom. However, like I said earlier, when the door closes, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no other opportunity. Yes, it has happened. The king of Morocco, yes, the king of Morocco has set down a proposal asking these countries to come toward him, meaning African brothers who are fighting for freedom. They're trying to protect the interests of the West instead of fighting with their brothers for their general freedom. But obviously this is motivated by money and greed. Now look at who's coming to their help. The king of Morocco. Yes, Moroccans are Africans, but many people tend to look at them different because the skin tone is a little bit different. Yes, many people tend to look at them different because they speak Arabic. So they tend to push them toward Arab nations. Now, how do you justify this when one door closes? Does it mean all opportunities are done? When one door closes, most of the time we tend to think that it's over. There's no other opportunity. Things are not going to change. We sometimes feel very sad at a closed door. We wish we could go back and fix things, maybe. We ask ourselves multiple questions saying, what could I have done to make this different? What could I have done to make this a different situation? You know, we tend to blame ourselves very often when the door closes, feeling very sad, very sorry for ourselves sometimes, regretting and thinking, reminiscing about what could have been done differently. But sometimes we forget that when the door closes, it certainly means another one is somewhere else. Maybe if you walk down the corridor with a big heart of faith, you probably find another door open. And maybe you should have stopped banging on the door that's been closed for a long time. Very interestingly, fellas, we know the story of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. These are three countries that have been put to the side by other African nations. Yes, other African nations have decided to put them to the side, meaning not communicate with them because they're not singing the same song, because they're not dancing on the same foot with them. Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali have decided to take direction of the country, to take leadership, to regain their freedom by giving back the power to the people and not working forever for the colonizers. Now, let me just tell you a quick story. When Mali started his revolution, when Malians stood up against French nationals, French soldiers in their country, when they kicked them out, they were faced with a very strong reaction from other African nations. Yes, other African nations closed their doors to Mali. As you can see on the map, Mali is a country that is in the heart of Africa. It's in the continent. They have no ports, meaning for a country like that, in order to get substantial help or get cooperation, importation, exportation, they need to cooperate with the country that is a port. And for cooperation to happen, you have to be in good terms with whoever you want to cooperate with. So a country such as Mali, Burkina Faso, or Niger, these countries need other African countries to access the sea so they can sell our product, so they can import product in the country for the people. Now imagine everybody stand against you. All the people that are at the port of Africa are against you. They don't want you to import. What's going to happen to your people? Starvation and many other difficulties. This is exactly the case of what's happening with these three countries that are fighting very hard for a true freedom. However, like I said earlier, when the door closes, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no other opportunity. Yes, it has happened. The king of Morocco, yes, the king of Morocco has set down a proposal asking these countries to come toward him, meaning to work and cooperate together so he can give them access to the sea. Congratulations. And this again comes back to what I say most often. Your brother is not necessarily somebody that looks exactly like you. Absolutely not. Your brother is not the person you share skin tone with. It's a lie, because if you look very carefully, us and us sometimes, very often indeed, we do each other very wrong. And it's very sad. Just look at the case of Africans right now. All these other countries standing against three African brothers who are fighting for freedom. They're trying to protect the interests of the West instead of fighting with their brothers for their general freedom. But obviously this is motivated by money and greed. Now look at who's coming to their help. The king of Morocco. Yes, Moroccans are Africans, but many people tend to look at them different because the skin tone is a little bit different. Yes, many people tend to look at them different because they speak Arabic. So they tend to push them toward Arab nations. Now, how do you justify this when a brother, supposedly a brother, somebody that looks just like you, closes his door to you, to your people, cuts electricity off of your country, putting people in danger in hospital, people in coma, people that need help, babies in a situation that is crucial, disregarding all these lives just to protect the interest of the West. And in the meantime, somebody from Morocco says, you know what, my doors are open. Let's build infrastructure so I can give you access to the sea. What lesson do we learn from this? A massive one. So the king is willing to use his means, to use his tools to enable these countries to bring their stuff and send them to the port, send them to the sea, export. Because other African nations, as you can look at the map, on the southern parts are all these African nations that are furious against these three countries. They're not happy that they live trying to free themselves.
All member states of ECOWAS present here today have all committed elements. They have committed their own equipment. They have committed their own resources to undertake this mission. So I tell you, we are ready to go anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided, which we are not going to disclose.
They don't like it, so they've closed the port. They've closed access to them. They've put them to the side. They've secluded them. They are called the ECOWAS countries. Yes, they look just like them. Very similar faces. Very similar everything. But Morocco has opened its door. Morocco to the north or northwest opened its door to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Chad. And these leaders are very grateful. Meanwhile, other Africans are blocking the door to other Africans. Morocco, that's Africa too, but I know you tend to look at them funny because they look a little bit different. I've opened the door, yes, to the people that are supposed to be your brothers. That's why I don't like people calling me brother. Oh, brother. Don't tell, I'm not your brother, okay? I'm going to be your brother when you start showing me brotherhood. Don't call me brother just because no, I'm sorry. I don't play that game. Because there's too much hypocrisy beyond brother. Act like my brother, then you're my brother. Don't just call me brother for free. I'm not interested in that. Okay? Your brother is not somebody that looks just like you. Absolutely not. Your brother is a person whose heart looks like yours. That's your brother. Somebody ready to sacrifice things in the name of love for you. Morocco has done some tremendous things.
L'initiative royale est la promesse que le Maroc apporte toute son énergie, mobilise tous ses efforts et partage tout son savoir-faire. Il s'agit de soutenir les partenaires du Sahel pour libérer les énormes potentialités de la région et ainsi accélérer la croissance et le développement durable et inclusif des économies de la région.
Okay, they went to Mali. Okay, Moroccan king exalted his people to go to Mali and build an hospital. Morocco is another country. Mali is a different country. They went to Mali to build an hospital. On 7th July 2022, the king of Morocco inaugurated Mohammed VI prenatal clinic in Bamako. Bamako is the capital of Mali, in the effort to reduce high-risk pregnancy and limit maternal and infant mortality by providing infant and premature babies access to prenatal and postnatal services. So he's invested his own money, Morocco's money, to build an hospital in Mali, okay, for babies and infants. The gynecology facility is set to provide numerous services, including intensive care and resuscitation for mothers, neonatal resuscitation, neonatology, while adhering to the latest international standard. So to the highest international standard, they've built an hospital in the name of love of Africans in a neighboring country. That is what I call brotherhood, fellas.
ويختم هذا المؤثر الإفريقي صاحب الفيديو الذي ينطق بلسان قارته شهادته بالإشادة بالمغرب كمنارة للتكافل والتعاون يضيء دروب إفريقيا ويلهم العالم رغم ما واجهه المغرب من تحديات كالزلزال المدمر الذي ضرب أرجاءه ظل وفيا لجذوره الإفريقية متمسكا بأصدقائه وإخوانه في القارة تحت قيادة جلالة الملك محمد السادس نصره الله. أثبت المغرب أن الأخوة ليس شعارا بل فعلا يتجلى في فتح أبوابه لدول الساحل الساحل كمالي والنيجر وبوركينا فاسو الذين عانوا العزلة والتهميش من دول جوارهم. من خلال مبادرة ملكية طموحة قدم المغرب رؤية لتمكين هذه الدول من الموصول إلى المحيط الأطلسي عبر بنية تحتية تشمل موانئ وطرقا وسكك حديدية لتعزيز تجارتها واستقلالها الاقتصادي. لم يقتصر عطاء المغرب على هذا الحلم الكبير، بل تجاوزه إلى بناء مستشفى في باماكو عاصمة مالي يحمل اسم محمد السادس ليخفف آلام الأمهات وينقذ أرواح الرضع، في دليل حي على التضامن الإنساني. ويؤكد صاحب الفيديو أن المغرب بصبره وإصراره على دعم أشقائه رغم جراحه يرسم صورة ملهمة للوحدة الإفريقية، حيث يحل الأمل محل اليأس والتعاون محل الانقسام. وهذا الإرث المغربي يتجاوز حدود المساعدة المادية ليزرع في نفوس الأفارقة إيمانا بإمكانية بناء مستقبل مشترك مزدهر. إن المغرب بتمسكه بجذوره ووفائه لأصدقائه يقدم للعالم نموذجا للقوة الحقيقية التي تنبع من القلب، ويؤسس لشراكة إفريقية تنتصر للكرامة والتضامن متحدية كل أشكال التفرقة والجشع. السلام عليكم.